My mom was one of 7. There were 6 girls and 1 boy. Poor old Uncle Roy. Uncle Roy was married to this wonderful woman. She's still with us. We just celebrated her 97th birthday. My Aunt Eloise. Eloise Robinson was her maiden name. She's a piece of work, Eloise was. Still is. She still lives at home, but sometimes she doesn't know that, you know. She's 97. Sometimes she's not real sure where she is. Now, she lives in the house right here, there in Buncombe County, and right next door to her on this side lives her daughter and son-in-law. And they, of course, check in with her all the time that she wants to live at home. I want to be at home. I've been here since 1958, and why should I leave? So she still lives at home. We were celebrating a birthday up there, and I was the first one there, and I walked in the house, and she was sitting there in her chair, you know, just sitting there. I walked in, and I said, "Hey, Auntie, how are you?" And she said, "I'm so glad to see you." "Who are you?" And I said, "It's Mike." And she said, "Mike, what in the world are you doing here?" I said, "Well, remember, we're having a birthday party today." She said, "It's somebody's birthday, huh?" I said, "Yep." I said, "Guess who?" She said, "I don't have any idea." I said, "It's your birthday." She said, "How old am I?" I said, 97. She said, "I feel it." I said, "How have you been doing?" She said, "Well, I think I've been doing all right." She said, "Of course, I don't live here." I said, You don't live here?" She said, "No, I live over there." And I thought, well, for 97, she wasn't but 1 house off. That wasn't too bad, you know. I said, "Well, you look like you're feeling good." She said, "Well, you know, I still walk every day." I said, "Well, good." I said, "Have you walked today?" She said, "I don't know." She said, "Is the paper here?" I said, "Well, I don't see it." She said, "Well, if the paper's not here, I've not walked, because that's where I walk, to get the paper." I said, "What, do you feel like going to get the paper?" She said, "Well, will you go with me?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Let's go." So we got her up out of her chair, and I got her on my arm. She's about the size of Yoda now, you know, she's about that tall. We were walking, I got her down off the front steps, and she said, "No, the paper box is down there at the road." I said, "Yep, I passed it coming in." I said, "You feel like walking that far?" It's about as far from here across the street, you know. I said, "You feel like walking that far?" She said, "If you do." I said, "Well, I'm not but 67. I think I can make it." She said, "All right, let's go." We went walking down through there, and the sun was starting to set, you know, and the birds were starting to sing, and we'd made 12 feet, you know. She walks like this. We're going down through there. She said, "Who are you?" I said, "It's Mike. It's your nephew, Mike." She said, "I'm so glad to see you. Where are we going?" I said, "We're going for a walk." She said, "To get the paper?" I said, "We're going to get the paper." I said, "All right, let's go." Here. We finally got down to the mailbox, and she looked in the paper box, and she said, "Well, there's no paper in there. I must have already read it." I said, "Well, maybe you did." I said, "Was there any news in it that you remember?" She said, "I think Franklin Roosevelt's running for a 4th term." I said, "Well, let's vote for him." She said, "I think I will." She drinks sweet tea and red wine, still uses her clothesline, likes poetry that rhymes in old radio. She's got chipped paint and old pipes and a burned out front porch light and a tin roof that just might fall in when it snowed. She still smokes cigarettes and still plays her cassettes, and now and then forgets her blood pressure pill. She keeps the shells from cicadas and bakes sweet potatoes. He got 2 green tomatoes on her windowsill. She gets up with the sun to make breakfast for 1. There's an old car on flat tires and chickweeds and sawbriars where once tall sunflowers bloomed in the sun. Through sweet corn and long rows, loved hanging her old clothes on scarecrows, but God knows those days are done. Stockings and hairpins and memories of young men she flirted with back when, 80 years gone. They were fiddle-tuned dancers, slick-back romancers, awaiting the answer to take her home. She still hears the band in her head, sitting there on the side of her bed. Bread dough in dish pans and work-hardened old hands,